Alright guys, so today we're gonna be reacting to this video that was recommended in in my Discord. A legendary German rock band. Die Arts, I think how the Oz or Oz, that's how you pronounce that. I had the two dots on top, so there's a little inflation they had to put to that vowel. We're gonna react to this. I don't know what this is all about. This is all about rock band. I'm just gonna jump in. This is all about reaction. Make sure you please like and subscribe, folks. Subscribe to my channel. The majority of you guys are watching my channel. You guys are not subscribing. Subscribe to my channel, and also be part of the community in the Discord. Links in the description. Also in the comment section as a pinned comment. Let's jump in and see what's going on here.
Arguably, they're one of the biggest German bands all over the world, internationally, ever. But that doesn't mean that Germany doesn't have to offer many other great bands and artists. And that is why today I want to invite you to, well, check out another German band. A staple in terms of German punk rock, you could say. And I'm talking about Die Ärzte, the Doctors. I personally think in terms of their creativity, in terms of their various lyrics from funny to serious topics, in terms of their musicianship, they definitely deserve an even bigger spot than they already have in the limelight. I guess my video is not really capable of lifting them sort of to an internationally great German band, but that's not the purpose of this one at all. I just want to introduce you to Die.
I might have to by the way, folks, I have a channel that is for music reactions, and all of those bands that you guys have recommended, I'll have to just move it. I might have to upload them there and in my other channel as well. I don't know, I might have to just react to these as well, but there's a lot of meat there. There's a lot of meat in the German genre, the Deutsch genre.
Die Ärzte and why they are a really, really cool German rock band. Die Toten Hosen, the Dead Trousers or Pants. Die Ärzte pretty much are one of the last remaining big German rock bands of the 1980s that are still around, that are still active, and that are still really successful. Formed in 1982, they have released 13 studio albums, many different singles, also some live recordings, and they are still going strong live, and especially also recording-wise, because right now they are recording a new album. In a way, Die Ärzte are a perfect German example of a so-called power trio, a rock band which only features 3 members, similar to bands like The Police or Rush, for instance.
Rush, I was going to mention Rush.
The two still active founding members are Farin Urlaub, aka Jan Ulrich Max Vetter, born in West Berlin in 1963. He's the band's main songwriter, guitarist and singer. His nickname is derived from a passionate hobby of his, the colloquial phrase fahr in Urlaub, go on vacation, for ich fahr in den Urlaub. To date, he has traveled most countries in the world, and many of his songs were written somewhere around the world, from Japan all over to Africa. The other one is Bela B., aka Dirk Felsenheimer, born in West Berlin in 1962. He's the band's drummer and also another songwriter and singer. His nickname is derived from Bela Lugosi, a well-known former Hungarian actor who portrayed Dracula in the eponymous movie in 1931. The second B is a reference to Barney Geröllheimer, aka Barney Rubble in English. And since the family name Geröllheimer sounds similar to his real last name Felsenheimer, Bela kept the B as a part of his nickname. As a drummer, he literally stands out, well, stands up I should rather say, because he's playing standing straight. Up until their first and only breakup to date in 1988, they had 2 different bassists in the band. The first one, and also a founding member, was Zani, who played bass until 1986, and then the incredible Hagen took over until that mentioned breakup in 1988. I think there's one important difference that needs to be mentioned about Die Ärzte being considered a punk band. As they have stated multiple times, they weren't interested in being a solely serious political punk band, which was pretty much common back in the late 70s.
Very common back in the day, you know, the punks band, very anti-government kind of genre. I don't know if it is like that today. I have no idea. Oh, look at this guy just standing up. That's kind of funny.
The rise of punk, and the early 80s. They do have some rather political songs which address general moral topics, but many other of their songs deal with everyday things, philosophical aspects, and funny, hilarious things. Die Ärzte released their first studio album, Debil, in 1984. They rather quickly stirred some controversies with a few explicit fun songs, which led to the album getting indexed or banned from stores in 1987 by the German Bundesprüfstelle für jugendgefährdende Medien, the Federal Examination Agency for Youth-Harming Media. Yeah, pretty much loosely translated. And yeah, that exists. Until the ban for the album was lifted in 2004. Hooray! Their third album...
It makes sense. It makes... hear me out, folks. Hear me out. It makes sense, folks. I mean, you're not going to throw this thing just out of the public that quick, that kind of crazy. I mean, there has to be a smooth transition, Remember, this is out of the blue. This kind of styles is out of the blue. So it's like, oh, hold up. Just give us a little bit of time to just swallow it, chew it, and just, digest it, because this is kind of too much. It makes
Die
sense.
Ärzte is still indexed to this day, which led to the band releasing a compilation album, Ab 18, from 18 onwards, for adults, pretty much, which refers to being considered an adult from the age of 18 onwards in Germany. Their band songs and was supposed to be sold only to people of at least 18 years of age. Guess what? It also got indexed to this day, but still managed to reach number 33 in the German album charts back in the day. For instance, one of these indexed German songs by Die Ärzte deals with Claudia Schiffer, a German model, who actually has a dog and, or had a dog back in the day, I guess. Well, that song is about not having that dog as a pet, but for more than that, some intimate things, I'd personally say even...
What?
A sarcastic, a hilarious song, an openly, directly hilarious song like this one, still has a serious core to it, which I think is a really interesting mixture.
I don't know about that.
Next to many comparably harmless single hits in the 1980s, these indexations were big factors in the rising popularity of the band in the early years. This even led to the band being featured in the German Bravo, a magazine for teenagers. And when you think about it, teens that became fans of the band in the early 80s are now almost 40 years older. Crazy. Besides a popular German cover of the Bangles hit Walk Like an Egyptian, Gehen wie ein Ägypter, including funny stressings of certain German words in order to make them fit into the meter, two of their most popular songs from that period, their rather pop-punky 80s time period, so to speak, were Zu spät, Too late, and Westerland, referring to a city on the island of Sylt, and both songs remain live staples to this day. However, at the height of their success, Fahr in Urlaub and Bela B decided to disband Die Ärzte in 1988. They weren't fighting or having an argument, it was simply the most counterintuitive and, most unforeseen thing they could have possibly done at that point, which is why they did that. After around 5 years with rather unsuccessful solo careers / other bands, this time with both of them singing English, they reunited again in 1993, this time with Rodrigo González on bass, who previously had played with the Rainbirds, a German band that is known for their big single hit Blueprint, a great song by the way. Each of these three members, Bela, Farin and Rot, contributed.
That dude looked like Antonio Banderas. He has some Antonio Banderas thing going on. You guys see it? Hear that?
Own compositions with slightly changing instrumentation at times, especially live. For instance, for certain songs, Farin and Rot would switch playing guitar and bass. At this point in time, the new Germany was a young, reunited democracy, a country, and many hostels and buildings for asylum seekers were attacked and demolished by neo-Nazis. And that was when Die Ärzte decided to release a political song, which arguably became their biggest and probably also most acclaimed and important song, Schrei nach Liebe, Scream for Love, which is a direct statement against Nazis, and on top of that, a catchy rocking tune, I think. In general,
nice.
Their songs from the 90s onwards were musically heavier, with more edge to them.
That looks very nice. That's very 90s. I'm sorry, folks. That looks very 90s.
With heavier distorted
Very nice.
electric guitars and multiple successful albums in a row. One of their biggest and most successful albums was their 8th one, titled 13. It was released in 1998 and features another big hit for Die Ärzte, Männer sind Schweine, Men Are Pigs. The music video to this again catchy pop-punk rockish type of hit got massive airplay and broadcast time because it featured an animated Lara Croft fighting against the band members. Especially considering back in the day, Tomb Raider was the shit, with Lara Croft being one of the first really
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Wow, man. Talk about 90s, man. That's PlayStation 1 on PC. Wow.
strong women in video game history that really had a forefront role in a way. In 2002, they filmed and released an MTV Unplugged live album called Rock'n'Roll Realschule, a fun take on the Ramones' 1979 soundtrack album Rock'n'Roll High School, even though it wasn't filmed at a German Realschule, but at a German Gymnasium, a grammar school or prep school, which is not to be confused with the English gymnasium. And talking about live shows by Die Ärzte real quick. It's not an exception by far, but the regular case that they play live for at least 2.5 up to 3 hours most of the time, and all three are highly communicative on stage. They make fun of each other and also actively involve the audience with unique, fun activities and tasks according to the songs. When I saw them live for the second time after 2012 at Rock am Ring 2019, they made us activate the flashlights of our cell phones and jump in a square according to the beat of the song. It shows the noun Junge, der Junge, the boy, which is one of Die Ärzte's biggest modern hit songs. They also made us participate a lot. Especially Farin likes to come up with funny ideas for audience participation. At their last gig at Rock am Ring in 2007, he invented the so-called Sitzlaola, the sitting Mexican wave.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Wow.
We were supposed to jump every time Farin would play his very short guitar lick in the verse to Fiasco, which you might be able to see here.
Ich spiele hier ein unglaublich kompliziertes Gitarrenriff, das geht so. Also, macht mir das mal nach, ja? Und es wäre schön, wenn ihr einfach hochspringen würdet. Das ist nicht super originell, aber wenn ihr alle hochspringt zur selben Zeit, sieht es bestimmt sehr bekloppt aus. Auf jeden Fall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Normalerweise bin ich zu Hause, wenn ich sie suche. Normalerweise kann ich reden, als wäre ich ein Kuh. Normalerweise kann ich sprechen. Ich sagte es schon, normalerweise bin ich Herr in der Situation. Normalerweise bin ich jemand und ein bisschen verstanden. Normalerweise laufe ich nicht einfach gegen die Wand. Normalerweise bin ich
They're not jumping though. They're not jumping. They're not jumping. They're not jumping at all. They look like they're sort of jumping. They're not jumping.
A little jump back to 2003 when they released their double album Geräusch, Sound or Noise. This was when I really became an active fan of the band, and their singles Unrockbar, Unrockable or Deine Schuld, Your Fault were and still are massive tunes in my book.
Wow, that's so early 2000s, right? Wow. They're fire. Very solid punk rock. Very solid.
In 2012, they released their last album to date, Auch, 2. or as well. However, ever since they have been working on and off on a new album and even released 2 new songs in 2019. Abschied, Goodbye, and Rückkehr, Return. And just recently in March 2020, Ein Lied für jetzt, a song for now. Next to die Ärzte, all band members are active in other groups or as solo artists as well.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, folks. That's the way to do it. I mean, you have to let it go, man. When it comes down to bands, you have to let it go, man. And help others. And help others. You know, go from the ground up, right? So you have to help others. It makes sense.
I especially want to highlight and highly recommend checking out the Farin Urlaub Racing Team. It's basically a rock/metal band that features Farin on vocals and guitars, being the mastermind and songwriter, a 3-person women choir, a wind section quartet including saxophone, trumpet, etc., and more members. And except for Farin and the wind section, all members are women. Their albums are among my favorite pieces of German music ever, again because they range from really humorous, hilarious lyrics to thought-provoking, more serious, even partially really philosophical ones. Their songs are really cool, and you know, the production is really cool as well. And to make this video a more immediate experience for you guys, I've also created a Spotify playlist with my favorite German Die Ärzte songs. And yeah, feel free to check it out. You can find a link to that one in the video description down below. Apart from that, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, a thumbs up, and also to share this video with others that might enjoy Die Ärzte.
Hey man, good video. Thank you so much for the recommendation for that person that recommended the video. Very interesting. I might check them out. See what's going on. They're very good. Good. Very solid pop rock, right? Very solid. Very solid. And it happens, you know, some of these bands, they had to move to new projects because they have to transfer that knowledge to other people. They cannot just simply just live with it. Like, they have to just transfer. You know, that's the best thing you can do, right, for the next generations. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know more bands like this? Do you want me to react on more dog commentaries? Put them in the comment section below. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one.